Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you so much for joining us on Let's Get Loud, where we're coming to you from the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in the Cayman Islands, where every day it's a beautiful day. And we have with us Jolene, Ramos, and her husband, and they're sharing the journey of Jolene's diagnosis with brain cancer from when her son, Caden, found out that mommy was shaking uncontrollably on May 14, 2020, during the height of COVID, to being diagnosed at the hospital here locally in the Cayman Islands with what they thought was stage 2, but it turned out to be stage 3 cancer. And her having to leave the Cayman Islands and journey all the way to Minneapolis to be operated on. The journey has been a great one, a one where she says, in her own words, she had a hard head, but God finally drilled into it. And here she is today, sharing her story of the goodness of God and how far He has brought her since May 14, 2020. Here she is today, June 2021, sharing her story, her journey with us, and encouraging us. So thank you so much, Jolene.
Thank you for having
Thank you,
me.
Mr. Ramos, for your support.
Thank you.
You're just a shield for her.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
her TLC care, right? Oh man,
He does a
he does a good job. Yes. So last week we heard about the surgery, and Mr. Ramos ended by saying that the last thing he was updated on was that she is now out, and he could come to the hospital to see his wife. So here we are at the hospital. Tell us exactly what happened.
So when I came out of the operating room and I became conscious, they then they knew that the whole left side issue was a possibility. So they started doing tests to see that my mobility was there.
Okay.
Because the decision was made that they didn't feel I needed to be awake to do the surgery, which was what Kim wanted to do prior to getting me approved December.
Okay.
And I could not do that. I could not bear 6 or 7 hours awake.
No.
I barely lasted for the biopsy.
Wow.
So I said, I can't do this.
Right.
I can't. Sorry.
Right.
Just not with it.
Right.
And they said, no, they would not do it with me awake.
Right.
So, of course, we proceeded in that route. And they said that they have a machine that can send messages to my brain. So even while I'm under, it would allow me, it would stimulate the part of my brain that needed to be stimulated.
Wow.
And allow my hands and my arms or whatever to move while in the operating room.
Gosh.
Yeah, so different, completely
And that's
different
when the doctor
situation.
told her
Mm-hmm.
that when she was in the operating room, she had movement. So they don't know what happened between,
Then
they
closing
closing it
it
up
and then the left
coming
side.
back.
Okay.
I'm in paralyzed.
So the doctor said, based on what you said, that the doctor said that he's personally seeing it moving, so he's very confident that she will get her movement back.
Okay. Okay. So then when you woke up, what happened?
They started to test my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So they used like a little pliers and pinched on your fingers and
Right,
your toes.
Right.
And then they would rub on the bottom of your feet. I don't know if you ever seen movies where they're looking to see. And they rub this sharp thing at the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like.
Okay.
So I mean the thing is I said to him now, they say 2020 is in hindsight is hindsight is 2020.
Right.
At the time I could feel. They thought I had no feeling, but I had feeling. But my brain, for some reason, even though it was hurting, wouldn't say, okay, and it hurts because if you get a pliers and you pinch your fingernails or your toenails.
She only told me this like months after.
Really?
Yeah, but in the moment when they're doing it, they're asking her, does this hurt? She's like,
No, they didn't ask me if it hurt. They just watch for movement because most people would pinch or try to pull away.
Oh,
They never asked me if I could feel it.
Oh, that's the difference. So,
Yeah.
but then your right side, anything wasn't moving? I mean, if I were
No, only my left side. I had movement on my
the
right
right
side.
side, oh my God, nothing at
Yeah.
all moved.
Yeah. And that was one of the decisions when we said we were gonna go through with the surgery.
Right.
The 12%.
The
And the fact
12%.
that it's my left side, I'm like, well, my dominant is my right.
Right.
I'm right-handed.
Right.
Many times so I use my left hand, you'd be surprised.
You never knew, right?
Yeah, never.
Until it happens.
Yeah.
You don't realize that
Yeah.
you are not half of a person, you're a whole person.
Yeah. True.
Right. So, how did you feel?
I felt disappointed. I felt
Yeah.
like I made the wrong choice.
Really?
I didn't have it in that given moment.
Moments.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt.
What about you, Mr. Ramos?
Because I never really tried to get down. When she first came around, I went there. She started complaining about the pain around her thing. So I tried to see if I could get my fingers under there, but the bandage was so tight. I don't know how they got that tight.
Yeah.
But of course, I understand that it was because the skull got broken. They want nothing to damage it at all, so they made sure it was tight. So I was like, well, I asked the nurse if they're giving her medication for it, but it was still hurting her, even though they had her on the heavy drugs.
Right.
She was really sleepy, so I left her alone that night because I just wanted to see if she was responding,
Right.
and she wasn't having no feeling on the left side. So I was like, okay, don't worry about it. We'll get it going. And
the leader of the pack, man. I tell you.
But what hurt me the most was
Right.
the next day when I came back, and there was a bunch of nurses and they were dealing with her
Right.
because she couldn't move. They put her in this bag. They rolled her to the side,
And a
put
net.
her in this bag that had
Like
the
a big
hole in
fishing
the
net.
center. So it's the bag holding her, hoisted up there with your private part showing. And that to me was hurting most because instinctively, as a husband, you're like, oh, my wife is in a really uncomfortable situation.
Right.
Let me see if I could try to cover her up or
Right.
get these people her, or let me go ahead and help her
Right.
while she's in this uncomfortable position. And of course, I didn't know what I was doing, so I couldn't do none of that. So, you just hold it in and you tell yourself, it is for the better.
Right.
And I'm sure these people go through this every single day.
Right.
Right. Or male, female, whatever the
Right.
situation is,
Right.
200-pounder,
Right.
whatever. I just said, they're the professionals.
Right.
Let me leave them and let them do. But it still hurt. And I that's when reality and it's sick, that's when I realized that we have a long road ahead of us. I have nothing like that in my house. Does that mean that I need to make a bench?
Right.
That we will lift her up, take her to the bathroom. I started making calls. I said, what? We're going
You
to
trained them well, right?
there's a ramp. We're going to have to do some modifications in the house. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I started making plans right away.
Wow.
But after I settled down, I said, you know what? We are here at the best hospital
Right.
in the world
Right.
that has the best doctors.
Right.
Where in the States, my job is, good thing about my job that Mr. Ramos, whatever help you need, we're here for you.
Wow.
Go ahead, do it.
Yeah, it's his turn. Oh, precious.
Yeah, that was
You just want to thank them publicly?
anyhow.
Thank God for all the wonderful things in our life. All those blessings.
Because sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
When you're sick, the bills are still there.
Yeah.
And speak about something else because I need some time to control myself.
It's okay.
Let me try one more time.
Yeah.
When you're sick, having a job is security.
Yeah.
And felt so good. It really felt good.
Felt good to know you.
Yeah.
You were supported.
Yes.
Yes, you were. You didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. Then I'm gonna have all of these bills. No, they were there for you. They were right behind you. You said you work for the Cayman Islands government.
Yes.
So Cayman Islands government, we just want to say thank you publicly for what you did for the Ramos
Yes.
family. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. Much appreciate it.
So anyway,
Mm.
getting back to Jordan's recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said we were the best hospital, and we're gonna get the best help. We're gonna ask.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna communicate with the insurance company.
Right.
We're gonna find out how much it costs.
Right.
Whatever the situation is, if we have to go to another hospital, well, we're gonna get the help for her.
Right.
And that's how it worked out. We took advantage. We listened to the doctors, and it was still not hard. It was still challenging because then she ended up having an allergic reaction to another medication, which caused her to stay up and no sleep while trying to recover from the operation itself.
So it wasn't a rash again, though.
No, it just had insomnia.
This was
It's
worse.
the steroids.
So you just stayed up, can't sleep.
Can't sleep. No.
Texting people, calling people 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And to her, it was like normal. It was like, it's just another day.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need rest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. She hangs up the phone,
Right.
calls back 5 minutes later, and
Oh.
say, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, didn't I just tell you
Oh.
we need sleep?
Oh. So did your daughter come back over then to see you?
No, because Mayo Clinic, because of those COVID, you only had for one visitor. And a one visitor for the entire time that you're in their care,
Right.
as in appointments and everything else. So I couldn't have enough visitors. But he would come every day and hang out with me and watch whatever TV show, Judge Judy or whatever.
Judge Judy.
That's what he likes.
Okay, so then just tell us then how everything just started happening.
So then I was 6, I did the surgery. I think it was the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
They came back and said, we're going to move you. We're going to send you to neuro rehab,
Okay.
which is where I would do physio
Mm-hmm.
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me over there. Like they moved me over. So,
Mm-hmm.
and just
You
trying
made
to
a
fix my
chair?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm. Good?
yeah.
All right.
So they said that we would go to the neuro rehab unit,
Mm-hmm.
and the nurses came and took me, wheeled me over there.
Okay.
And then they started going over the plan of what they were going to do with me, which included physiotherapy to learn to walk again,
Okay.
movement, occupational therapy for the movement of my left hand,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously they did stuff like speech therapy again. Speech therapy. What else did they do? Something like.
So your speech was blurry,
Yeah.
slurry.
Mm-hmm. Slurs, yeah.
Okay. And how was that journey? How long did that take?
28 days
Yeah.
in there.
That's almost a month. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have like an hour and a half, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of occupational, hour and a half of physio every day, even on the weekends. And then speech therapist would come once for the day, every day.
I had to teach her everything. She had to learn how to bathe herself, how to feed herself,
Brush my
how
teeth,
to
do it.
get out of bed, brush your teeth. And it was everything that she had to start all over again. Comb your hair.
Back to baby stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Had to learn how to read, write. All of that had to happen. But, thank God again that we were in the right place. The hospital was awesome.
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 See, God always provides. He always provides. Always provides. And he worked through Dr. James to get you there. Yeah. So just tell us then, how did you feel just going through all of this? Just
Sometimes I felt overwhelmed. I did feel anxiety.
Yeah.
That helped to keep me up at night as well.
okay.
And so, they had people could come in and do acupuncture and massage therapy. But insurance would pay for it would be out
Out
of
of
pocket.
pocket. Okay.
So
And it
my
wasn't like
Yeah.
huge cost. It was like $100, $125. So we said, okay, let's try that.
Mhm.
Because we want to try everything that could actually help.
Wow.
But we did get some positive results too. Like for us,
Mm-hmm.
for her, I can imagine could have what was the biggest thing. Today I moved my finger That was the biggest thing.
Really? That was a celebration. Wow.
That was a big celebration.
Wow.
Yeah. That was,
That was
yeah.
the hardest one was my hand.
It was your
Yeah.
hand. Okay.
And then like the therapist sometimes would say to me like, I would say, she'd say, just look at your hand and tell it to move.
To move.
And I'm saying to myself, and I would break down and cry. And she said, why are you crying? I said, because what do you think I've been doing since I've been in this hospital? I have been telling this hand to move. Like, I'm not here because I want to hang out in here. I'm here because I want to learn to move it.
Wow.
But of course, I'm saying to myself, like, she don't understand. And then another time when they did the mirror, because I was very lopsided.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I couldn't sit up straight.
Straight. Right.
So, yeah, the nurses used to have a little saying that they would say with me about they're going to change my name from Jolene to Eileen. Because it would leave me in a chair.
And you would go there, you would be leaning. Eileen,
So
from
much so,
Jolene to
yeah.
Eileen.
Yeah, and so much so that I would have the big imprint of the chair,
Really?
but I can't move the hand, the arm. Yeah, and he would come in
She
and say,
didn't know.
why are you sitting there?
Yeah, she didn't know.
I didn't even feel it. So it would have like a big indentation on my hand, yeah, in the little chairs that I was sitting, or they would be me.
So how long did everything take?
From June till the end of September.
And you were able to move and walk?
I was able to move, walk, speak.
Sit up straight?
Sit up. Well, I don't think I sit up straight now, but
Okay,
there
Eileen.
you go.
Let's Jolene this time, okay? Yeah.
So,
July to September.
yes.
That's August. That's literally 2 months.
And they would do things like play cards with me and stuff too. And then because I did get mobility, she's like, we're gonna try. They had everything. They had a room set. They taught me how to get back into a car. So they had like a makeshift car
Okay
in
then.
physio. And she's like, what kind of car do you drive? So you can have the right height and everything. So you can get in, learn to close the door, buckle your seatbelt, everything.
All within 2 months.
Yeah.
And
So
then when she started to walk, well, when they released her from that section, we still had to go back occasionally because 2 months is a long time to be in the hospital.
Right.
Cost was really going up. And then, you know, normally what they did was 6 weeks, but because of her situation, they extended it a little bit longer. So anyway, after they released her because they couldn't keep her in there no longer.
Right.
I had to start radiation.
Yeah, then she started radiation.
2 days later.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was coming up on hospital.
We would get a wheelchair and then we would roll her up. Eventually, she ended up walking. We said, okay, we seen you walking in the house.
Right.
So let's see if we could walk towards the hotel a little bit. So we did 5 minutes one day and then got in a wheelchair that we finished taking.
Right.
Then the next day or next 2 or 3 days we do next 10 minutes. And then, you know, she kept going. And then eventually we'll do, 1 mile.
What? Yeah.
And then
That was the
eventually we'll
distance
do,
from the hotel to
and
where
then-
I do the radiation.
and then we would do further down in the line, we would do like, okay, you walk one way, I'll reel you back. And then eventually she would walk and then she would walk back.
This is a good coach.
Yeah,
That's
she
how
did,
it worked.
yeah.
It's a good
Yeah,
coach
so-
you got. He the leader of the
Yeah,
team.
Yeah, yes.
He takes charge.
Yeah.
See, it's all in her though.
Yeah.
I can guide them, but
Yes.
it's her will
Wow.
to want to be
Yeah.
better, want
Right.
to get herself better for her family,
Right.
for her friends, for
Right.
herself.
Right.
So,
So how did you feel then, knowing that you when back in July, I know you're at September, where you went from that frantic call, oh, we're gonna have to do this to the house. Oh, we're gonna have to do this. Oh, how did you feel when you saw your wife walking?
there's good and there's bad to that. The good thing is the accomplishment of getting there. Like I said, you know, we celebrated when she moved one finger.
Yeah.
Wow, the brain is actually communicating with
Right.
the body, and it's just a matter of getting everything else.
You're right.
And then it was just a slow process,
Yeah.
moving stuff, but then strength. So then we like, okay, well, we need to work on strength.
Right.
The downside to that was that strength took time.
Strength took time.
Yeah. So when I knew within myself from the very first day she came out of the operation, I said, this is a long journey, and we're talking possibly 1 year, 2 years, maybe even 5 years.
Right.
But the most important thing is that she can do minor things such as dress yourself,
Yeah.
bathe yourself.
Right.
Things that are very important.
Yes.
You don't understand the importance of it until you
Until
lose
you
that.
lose it.
Yeah, independence.
Wow.
Independence, being able to turn on the TV on your own,
Right.
being able to control the AC, being
Right.
able to open the door,
Right.
My nemesis was toilet paper.
Right.
Not being able to,
Roll it off.
yeah, because the laptop wasn't working.
And fold it properly,
Right.
and deal, so
Yeah.
you had to do it with one hand.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the,
That's
I never
nice.
once decided to let it be about me. It wasn't about me feeling bad. It was like about me helping my wife to feel better. That's what it was all about.
My God.
Thank you for that.
You have more time?
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
20 how many years?
29 this October.
29 this October. Mr. Ramos, you're still leading your pack. Still leading your pack. Thank you so much for that, because we take vows, right?
Yeah.
We do take vows, sickness and in health, right?
For better or worse.
For better or worse. And you have been there for your wife.
So I had to take over. I just let them know,
Yeah.
because I want other people to know what it feels like for the other partner.
Yeah.
I had to, and I'm cooking, and I had to learn healthy. What is healthy? What is taste? So healthy, you have to put it along with taste. What is nutritional? Is instead of like saying, okay, I'm just gonna eat a salad.
Right.
Well, what is in a salad?
Right. Because a lot of people fail to realize
Yeah.
that.
What is in a salad? Do you put a steak along with a salad? And you're like, I had salad today. Yeah. So, for her, we figured out that salmon is the best,
Okay.
but it costs the most.
Right.
So then we were like, okay, do we buy the frozen one or do we buy the fresh one? And then I found somebody who can actually sell it to me wholesale. So instead of me going buy 2 pieces for $30, I bought 2 whole salmons for like $60. So that's one way of looking at it. Another way, she can't cook for herself anymore, because in a hotel room, she tried to boil water and she burnt it twice. So we like, what?
So what you say, you can't even burn water, right? Oh Lord!
She did.
She burned water.
I left the pot. I just forgot.
I told her, leave it alone, I'll do it.
Yeah.
She wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning, puts it on the stove, because she's going to make a tea, tea or whatever, leaves it on it.
Oh.
The water dissolves, pot is burning, and I'm like, you know what? I want my house, so no more cooking for you. No more cooking for you.
Oh my God. Oh wow. So I realized we're back in Cayman, but I never heard the journey from Minnesota back to Cayman. How was that?
We had to go get Caden from Nebraska.
Right.
So we had to drive.
Both of you drive, Joe?
He drove.
Right.
Distance.
Right.
I don't drive anymore.
Okay.
Because I had one seizure, and when
Since
I had this,
no.
no. Yeah, I don't take seizure medicine.
Good.
After the surgery.
Nice.
And a lot of my anxiety and sleep was because we didn't know the results yet. And then I had an issue with my vision, where when I was reading, my words would look straight in the line and then it would go up.
Wow.
So there's a specialist you need for that, because it's not in the eyes, it's in the brain. So I had to go and see them. I had to do hearing tests and all that, because radiation and both chemo can affect the vision and your hearing. So they test you before you start.
So you left, you were discharged, and you walked out of the hospital?
No, first day I didn't walk.
First day.
I walked to the wheelchair.
To the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you walked.
Yeah, we didn't want to take any chances, because I had been outside and on level surfaces. So the sidewalks weren't always nice and clean. It had cracks and stuff, because it snows a lot.
Right.
And we agreed that before she falls and causes more damage, we're gonna just take it easy and one step at a time. One step at a time. This strength was the hardest part. And we knew that she wasn't going to get strong right away.
Right.
So we focused on the movement and let strength come later.
Wow.
So that's what we did.
Like Coach Ramos. So you went to get Caden, yeah?
Yeah, we drove to get Caden, and then we flew.
So you did a 3-hour drive, and that you were
7 hours. 7 or
What?
something.
And it was good?
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
okay?
those are good things.
Wow.
We travel to the States a lot, and so we actually like that, We've tried driving from,
We did a whole road trip a couple years ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago.
and
Yeah.
so
Friday
we're
night
used to that.
Okay.
And you have to
Drove
do
from
it.
Las
Yeah.
Vegas and
We
went
also
to Grand
looked at,
Canyon and all that.
we didn't want to drive down, so we looked at pricing, and the prices was ridiculous.
Okay.
It was,
Roughly.
we're talking about what, $800 for
Wow.
that's not even coming to Cayman. That's just going from one state to the other.
Wow. So you did all the driving then?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kaden got a road trip back in?
Well,
No,
he didn't
no,
go
he
that way.
wasn't there.
He
Oh.
wasn't there yet. We
Oh,
wanted
going to get him. Oh, okay, in Nebraska. Oh, it took 6
About
hours.
6
Okay.
hours, 6.5, 7 hours.
Wow.
Somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
A whole night's sleep
Yeah.
in my book. So you got him and then you all came back to the Cayman Islands.
We got him. We stayed a day or 2 days in
Okay.
Nebraska,
Okay.
and got to see Kayla for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we flew out of Nebraska
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're from Nebraska.
to
To
Miami,
Miami.
and then that was the day before our flight because we didn't know what
Mhm,
things were gonna look like.
mhm.
And then we stayed in a hotel for that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then got our flight back to Canada.
To Cayman.
And then, but we got to quarantine at home
Right.
because of that situation.
Right.
Which we had to get approved.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So that
I
way,
just want to let people know as well too that it's not just, she started walking and she started getting herself to the bathroom. We're still going through different things such as her memory.
Yeah.
She has problem with short-term memory.
Okay.
Something as simple as like coming out of the bathroom and forgot that she left her phone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you could hear the alarm going on 6 and 7 times during the day. Jolene lost her phone again.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You laugh, you cry about it.
Right. Right. And we choose to laugh, right?
Yeah.
About it. We make jokes about it.
That's good. Laughter is good for the soul. It's good medicine too.
Yeah.
It's good
So
medicine.
she's still recovering. She's still recovering. Because
Right.
it looks
Good
good from
right
the
here.
outside,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But she still has trouble with
Stuff.
memory is the most important thing because of the
Focus.
job that she had required her to do a lot of reading,
Right,
a lot
right,
of remembering,
right.
and
Cognitive,
yeah.
problem solving skills are almost non-existent.
Yeah.
The other day I put her to clear something on customs.
Mhm.
Something as simple as like finding the code, the numbers
Mhm.
that go with the item.
Right.
So she's like, got it, but then she would start to look for another one, and then she forgot the first one. And then I had to point out to her, well, so why don't you write it down?
Mm.
So those simple little things is
Yeah.
what she's focusing on right now,
Right
and
now.
it's so important.
Mhm.
So, thank God that everything else she's still 90%, but that 10%
That
is so
10%.
important,
Mm.
and that's what she's
Working
that's
on.
what we're focusing on right now.
And Coach Ramos.
And I do a lot of stuff that assists me,
Okay.
like in my texts and stuff, my phone, I just speak. And
types
it for me.
Okay.
Same thing with my computer.
You
So
just
I've
speak.
made-
Right.
I just speak, whatever, emails,
Mhm.
So we are
texts,
working on it.
WhatsApp, everything.
She's
Yeah.
working on it,
Mhm.
to try to get herself there.
Right.
So we've learned to, use other tools, and how we learned that was we seen the doctor
Yeah.
I didn't
up
say,
at Mayo Clinic
Mhm.
using it. We're like, wow, this guy is a college educated brain specialist.
Right.
And he's using this speech to text.
Right.
yeah,
And we're like, at that time we were like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
But then now we're like, you know what? I think you should get that.
yeah, I knew that.
Find out what that thing is to
Yeah.
help. And it has helped her.
Wow.
So,
Look at that, eh?
so I write to cadence teachers and stuff every day.
By
Just
just
about every
speaking.
day, Just speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So,
God is good. Again, He has already provided everything we need.
Yeah.
And for you guys to be so observant because, you were looking at Him and thinking,
why does he need
right,
that?
Yeah.
He's so smart.
right,
Or we think he's so smart.
Right.
Why does he need that?
right.
That's the man I was about to cut into my head, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's my
That's true. We were looking at it like, is he really all put together?
Oh, Lord.
Because he's Lord. he's we're looking at him
The
from a different point of view
expectation.
because of some simple little thing that
Just
he's
simple
losing.
little
He's not
thing.
writing it yet.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
writing because he's
Yeah.
saving time because
Yeah.
it's so easy
Yeah.
to speak
Yeah,
than to type.
Yes, absolutely.
So what would take him 10 minutes take him a minute or two.
yeah, it does.
Wow.
Go back and make his corrections and
Right,
everything.
yeah. Cool. Dragon does a good job of that too, yeah. What a journey it has been.
Yes, it
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
And it still
It still
is.
Yeah.
But everything you need has already been provided, including a great support.
Yeah.
Great support. Mr. Ramos, on behalf of every wife out there, I just want to say thank you for being a husband, a shield, a support, a tower of strength, one who looks out for his family, one who, when the team member is down, you rally the team together and you get that team member back up. One who thinks ahead, one who tries to find solutions.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, sir.
Thank you for those kind words.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And Jolene, thank you for having the strength to just share your story.
Yes.
Because I remember when I heard your story, and I said, oh my God, wow. And I just sat there in awe. And I said, people need to know this. And then I said, let me find out from my friend whether you would be willing to. And you just responded like, yes, I want to, because we didn't have anybody to turn to. We didn't know what to do. But so if my story can help somebody, I am happy to share. And you have shared your story. And I just want to say thank you. And Jolene, I just want to let you know that God has great plans for you. Great plans for you.
Thank you.
You have just begun to see just a little bit of what he has planned for you. I mentioned 50 years, right? No 5 in you. You have so much to do because God has great plans for you. And now that he has drilled into your head, literally drilled into your head, and you have answered his call. So much for you to do. So many people for you to help, Jolene. So many people for you to share your story with, to let them know there's hope. So many people to know that there's a God who still performs miracles. So many people who need to know that, hey, if your kid slips in your bed, don't push them out. Leave them alone because they might just save your life. A woman who needs to let people know that husbands are still good, that they're still good, that they're supportive, that they're providers, that they're there for you. Husbands who look out for you.
And he does.
And you need to let people know that your trust and confidence in God will get you to the point where you're at right now. To let people know that God is Jehovah Jireh, our provider, that he has already taken care of everything we need. And he has already taken care of everything you need, Jolene. Every single thing. Keep trusting him. Keep believing. Because that's all he asks us to do. He just says believe. And you will receive whatever you ask for. Very simple. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for. So whatever your heart's desire is, guess what? He'll grant it to you because you believe. You're a believer. So continue sharing your story. And thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you for having us here and giving us this forum to be able to help tell other people what's going on, because that's something I actually offered to the cancer registry. I said I know they can't give out patients' information, but if there was anybody else in Cayman that was actually going through a brain tumor or anything that I could help them, give them my phone number.
Wow.
And I'm still open to that.
You heard that, people? If you know anyone, you want to tell them your phone number?
Sure. My number is 916-4278.
And if you're calling from overseas, it's +1 345. Repeat the number.
916-4278.
Do you have an email address?
Yes, it's Ramos, my last name, Ramos .Jolene, JOLENE@live.com.
There you go. And if you can't reach Jolene and you want to reach me, just send me an email. All the description, all the phone numbers will be in a description box below, so you can always reach out and we'll get you the help you need. And remember, your story is not for you. It's to help somebody else get through their journey. So don't keep silent. Let's get loud, okay? And support each other as we go through this journey called life. Thank you again for being here and from the beautiful Ritz-Carlton in the Cayman Islands, where every day it's a beautiful day. We just want to say thank you so much for making it Let's Get Loud.
Let's get loud.